So, I have a water leak I got to take care of. Came downstairs and seen that there was water leaking from my ceiling. So, and right above that room is a bathroom. So, first thing you got to do in this kind of emergency is make yourself a cup of coffee. Okay. Now we can get started. So, first thing you should have done was shut the water off. I've already shut the water off downstairs, so the main is shut off. Now I'm gonna head upstairs, figure out what's going on up here. Okay, it's not gonna show up real well, but on camera here, but you can see that there's definitely some water around the base of the toilet here. So that tells me that the ring is leaking. There's a wax ring underneath of here. So now we have to drain the toilet. And to do that, you're gonna turn the water off, which the water's already off on this thing. You're gonna flush the toilet, which I've already done. All that water is gonna go through the toilet, down and out, and then you're gonna plunger the toilet. And then if you have a shop vac, which I do, I shop vac all the water out of here and out of here. So this comes off. All that water's out. All the water in the bowl is out. Now we're gonna attempt to get this toilet loose from the floor. As you can see, that bolt is looking pretty rusty. But the other side did manage to come loose. So I'll show you this side over here. Down here, you gotta take this washer and nut off. You're gonna have to save that if you don't have the new hardware. This side is stuck. So now I have to come up with a plan to get this side out without breaking my toilet. I'll have to show this later, but on that flange where this toilet bolts to, there's little, like a groove in there with an opening. So when you put the bolts in, you gotta slide them in and then slide them into position. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but basically I gotta take this toilet and turn it, line it up with those grooves, and then I should be able to get this to pop off that flange. What I'm running into here is the tank is hitting the wall. So now I have to take this tank here off of the toilet. So to do that, there's bolts inside here. There's one way down in here, right here. And there's one over here, down here, and they come loose from the bottom side. I think they're a 1/2 inch on this thing. Make sure you got the water drained before you start doing this, because otherwise you're gonna break that seal in there, and all that water in the tank is gonna come draining out right now. Okay, I need 2 hands to do this, so hang on a second. Okay, I got those bolts loose here and here. Everything's out on the bottom. I got the nuts off of the bottom. You can see it right there, it's off. I've also removed this line here. So this is your main water line coming in, just like that. Come on, the fuck, damn it. Just like that. That was screwed onto there. I unscrewed it by hand, popped it off. Water's off, everything's drained, so nothing's leaking out. Now I'm gonna take this tank here and lift it up off of the toilet. tank's just gonna come straight up. Just like that. We're gonna move it off to the side. Make sure when you're doing this, you leave as much shit on the floor as you can. That way you got something to trip over. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we're gonna try to take this toilet and rotate it this way. So I'm gonna take the whole thing and try to spin it like this. But I gotta be gentle because I need to get that bolt down there out of that groove, which I'll show you later. I'm not sure that it rotates this way. I think it does. It may rotate this way. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try turning it, seeing if I can get it loose here. I'm turning the toilet a little bit. I'm putting the nut or the ratchet back on there, and I'm going to try to wiggle that nut back and forth to get it to break free a little bit. Oh, shit, I just broke the damn bolt off. Well, okay, I got the toilet loose now. Now I need more hardware, which I guess that was junk anyway. So now that this is loose, I'm just gonna lift this straight up. Again, the more shit that's on the floor, the better. That way you got a whole mountain of shit to walk around. Easiest way to do this is usually to lift this toilet seat up, put your hand under this lip here, lift there, and then my other hand, since I got the bowl off, or the tank, sorry, is just gonna go back into here. And I'm just gonna lift this thing straight up, set it over here. So I can get a better view here. Okay, let's move this off to the side. Okay, now the toilet's out of the way. This is what's left here. Clean all this fucking mess of shit out of here. Wipe it down. This is your wax ring right here. These are the things I was telling you about. You got the bolts here. Like we turned them this way to get it to go into that groove. And then it'll come out and see that groove in that slot there. And then this is how it's in there. That one's broke off now. Now we need to get a scraper, scrape all this wax ring off. This is fucking disgusting. Now you can really see these grooves here that I was telling you about. This is, again, we'll put this back in here. These were sticking up. That's what the toilet was actually bolted to. These are the bolts we took out of the side of the toilet. This is the one that snapped off. So this slides this way. That's why I was turning that whole toilet. I was rotating it this way. Get these bolts to turn like this and then come out of there. This one's broke. It'll come out of here still. We're gonna have to go get some more bolts before we can finish this, but I need to inspect and see what's all going on here, make sure there's no damage to the floor. Everything's loose here, so I can just kind of pick this up and look under here. It's wet. It's not extremely wet. I'm gonna let that dry out. I'm gonna have to run to town get some more hardware for this thing. We'll check under the toilet here. Here's the toilet sitting on the ground here. We're gonna tip this forward. We have to clean all that off. That's the old wax that was on the toilet. So we'll clean that nice and clean. And then get everything ready to be put back together. I'm just going to use the scraper. I can't find it. Hang on. It's wax, so it's sticky and gross looking, and you might think it's a buildup of something else, but it's not. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. Okay, that's scraped. Now we need to get this clean, so I'm gonna get some wax remover or something, or maybe just some good tub and tile cleaner or something, spray on there, let that soak, and then wipe it down when I get back from the looking for bolts. One thing to remember is this is open. This is now you got sewer fumes and coming out of here, so you're no longer sealed with the toilet. So you need to, if it's going to be open for any amount of time other than, like, 20 minutes or so, you need to shove something in that hole. I'm gonna put this towel in here. Otherwise, when I come back from town, this whole house is gonna smell like, well, shit. Okay, we're back from town. We got the parts we need. We went and got a new wax ring right here, and we got some hardware to bolt this thing back down with. First thing we got to do is, we've got this cleaned up. That's cleaned up good enough. The back side of your toilet that's hard to reach, clean that son of a bitch while you got this apart. Just wipe it down. Anyway, first thing we're going to do is stick this ring onto here. This comes out. Take this plastic covering off. This is supposed to go, it's just supposed to stick right on there, right on that flange. Give it a big push. Kind of spin it a little bit so it locks in there. It's wax, so let's see if it sticks there. It should stay. Now we're going to take this, get it prepped. Oh, well, they don't even... We're going to stick these back in here. This one came with this hardware. Comes with these plastic retainers here. So what we're going to do there is this is going to go down into here and turn where we need it. And then this is going to go on top of it. Just like that. And then that's going to get all cinched down. And this is going to keep this nut from, this bolt from falling into the floor, because this is an old cast iron one, so there's nothing to hold that from falling down through. If you just stick this in there and let go of it, it's gone. So we'll tighten this up by hand here. Get this ran down. It'll probably push on there. About there. And then this go into here, get it slid around where it needs to be, right about there. Do the same thing for the other one. About there. This one slides in here, gets in that groove, locks it in, turns it this way. Now we got to get these positioned perfectly straight with how you want that toilet to sit. If you get them crooked, your toilet's going to sit crooked. You can adjust it once you get it down, but it's just easy to get this all situated now. Basically what I'm doing here is making sure this is straight across with the wall. And this flange here isn't, so I'm leaving the same amount of gap here as I am here. Now that should put me pretty much straight across. So now when I pick up this toilet and go to set it down on there, these pins or bolts are gonna line up here and there, which is here. So when we go to set this thing straight down, which I'm probably not gonna be able to show, these pins are gonna come through there. The wax ring fell off the toilet, so I'm gonna set it here. And then I'm gonna try to set the toilet down perfectly straight on top of it. Hopefully this works. Usually that's on the toilet, but it fell off, so we're trying it this way now. Okay, I'm pushing the toilet down, working it back and forth a little bit, and make sure we're straight. Holy shit, we're not at all. Turn that. Okay, now we're straight. I'm actually gonna sit on it, put some weight. We're compressing that wax ring right now. Okay. Now we're gonna take these washers, stick them on the top here, and then start the nuts. Okay, now we're gonna tighten those nuts, or those bolts, or nuts. Don't over tighten this, you wanna snug it up. About like that, and we're gonna go the other side, tighten it up. We're gonna kind of walk this down. If you just tighten the hell out of one side, you'll end up breaking the porcelain of the toilet down here, and then you're buying a new toilet. Just continuing to go back and forth little by little, bringing this thing down. Okay, I got it tight. It feels pretty solid. I'm wiggling it back and forth. It's not really moving. I think we're good. We're gonna put the tank back on here. I got some new hardware for that. Little tip, if you use this hardware, if you get an extra one of these, use these bolts and these washers and those nuts, put them on your toilet seat. If you got a toilet seat that keeps coming loose, you replace it with this hardware instead of the plastic crap. It'll really lock that toilet seat on there, keeps it from coming loose all the time. Okay, here's the tank. We got to get this hardware out. Pulling these out. Those are the old ones. The rubber is what seals the water in, so when you start taking them loose, that's why you need to have this drain first. Nice. And we're gonna clean the bottom of this off. That was supposed to be there, but it's not. Okay, this is a newer style. Okay, we got the seal back on here. We're gonna set this back onto the toilet, and then we'll stick the hardware in once we got that in there. Okay, that's set there. You see the holes are lined up. You can see the light coming through there. Now we're going to take these here, find the rubber washers, stick them on there. Shit. Stick a washer on there, then a rubber. Get that shoved in there. That's going to be your seal. Do the same to the other one. These are going to go in the tank. Right here, right there. And they're going to be sticking through the bottom. Right there. We're going to take another one of these washers, another one of these. We're going to tighten this side down. Putting the rubber on, getting the washer. Put the washer on. This one comes with a wing nut or a nut. I'm using the wing nuts. Spin those on. snug it a little bit and do the other side. Now these you just snug up. Okay, we got it all snugged up. It's no longer moving, so we're done with that part. Now we can take the water line right here, stick it back on up here. I think I forgot to show this coming off, but it goes like this. Just hand tighten it up on there. Okay, that's snug. All right, now we're going to turn the water on. Okay, this is filling. It's going to start filling in here a little bit. Make sure you check for leaks. Oh, look at that. We got leaks. Okay, it's not leaking anymore. This plastic nut here was a little bit loose, so I snugged it up so it's not leaking. Okay, now this is full. We're ready to flush it. That's full. We're gonna flush it, and we're gonna watch down here. Make sure we don't see any water coming around here. Okay, it looks dry. All right, now we just got to clean up our mess, and I think we're done.